Welcome back to Combined Alien and Horror, where hidden truths and untold stories come to light. Today, we dive into the abduction case of Armando Zubaran, an encounter so strange, so impossible, that even the most hardened skeptics whisper his name with unease. It was January 1954. A dark Mexican highway, the road between Mexico City and Acapulco. Zubaran drove alone, headlights carving through the blackness. He was a businessman, logical, sober, no stranger to long nights. But that night, something unnatural seeped into him. His eyelids sagged, his body grew heavy. Not tiredness, paralysis, as though unseen fingers were pulling him down into a drugged sleep. He pulled to the roadside, fighting for control. When his head rose again, his world had changed. Ahead stood a craft, brilliant, blinding, metallic, alive with impossible light. And outside it, figures. Men or something wearing the shape of men. Their identical clothing, their stillness, their eyes fixed directly on him. Before he could react, Zubaran was no longer in his car. He was walking, though he had no memory of moving, straight into their arms, guided, chosen, trapped. Inside the craft, his voice broke the silence. "Why me?" One of them answered, coldly, mechanically. "You are not the first. You will not be the last. We choose who will carry our message." A screen lit up before him. His entire life played like a film. Birth, childhood, business deals, failures, every detail catalogued. Nothing was hidden. They knew everything. And then came the truth that he was no longer on Earth. The stars outside were shifting. Space itself bent around them. They showed him their propulsion. Gravity itself, folded, manipulated, weaponized. A technology eerily similar to secrets revealed decades later by whistleblowers like Bob Lazar. Zubaran heard it first. But it wasn't torture they offered. It was something far more insidious. He lived among them, ate their food, slept where they slept. Days passed inside that ship. Their showers were invisible winds of air and mist. Their food resembled ours: meat, vegetables, fruit. One fruit resembled a mango, sweet yet alien. And then came the revelation that cracked his soul. Food appeared not by delivery, but by thought. They imagined it, and it materialized. Technology indistinguishable from creation itself. They spoke of their society. 3,000 years without war, a utopia built on obedience to one presence only. The beloved Nine, a master intelligence, eternal, watching, guiding. Does that sound familiar? It should. In the 1950s, hidden inside America's Project Penguin, channelers claimed contact with an entity known only as the Nine, an intelligence older than humanity. Was Zubaran's beloved Nine the same being? Or something darker, wearing the mask of divinity? When he finally returned, Zubaran was back in his car. Dawn rising, not a second had passed. But the story didn't end there. 15 years later, 1969, Mexico City, Zubaran stopped for a hitchhiker. The man climbed into his car, turned, and Zubaran froze. It was him, one of the crew. Decades had passed. The entity had not aged. Coincidence? No. contact, deliberate, a reminder that his role wasn't over. What was the message? Did he deliver it? We may never know. But the details of his account, the propulsion, the technology, the presence of the nine, line up with leaks, confessions, and whispers that surfaced decades later. And what they suggest is worse than abduction. It suggests recruitment, a program, a war between unseen civilizations fought not in space, but for the very minds of humanity. Because Zubaran wasn't the only one, others were chosen, others were tested, and some, maybe many, never came back. So tonight, ask yourself, what if the ones guiding humanity's future aren't governments or gods, but something far colder? What if the nine still watch, still command, still demand obedience? And what if, just like Zubaran, you've already been chosen and simply don't remember it yet?